Depending on the character's roles, some liberties to keep the plot moving are unrealistic. What I'm focused on is learned behavior, something you see over time. That is why I like series, because it starts to develop a character into a person and it constrains the writer into how the character can react. If you violate the spirit of the character, then you soon will find interest in the books will disappear. While the thoughts are inspired by the book, it does not imply the writer intended to inspire the thoughts I have. Zebulon, after going back to the congregation, begins to realize exactly what his adopted mother must have went through when she finally had to leave. After sleeping with Sarah, and then he finds that she's pregnant, and then he's forced to marry her because the father gets ticked off, and then they see the child get sick. The congregation didn't believe in medicines, that God protects the children. If something bad happens, like Ripka getting sick, it must be because of the parents' lack of faith. He couldn't let Ripka die, so he took the child and got her to a doctor and then called his adopted mother. Eventually ended up leaving Ripka in Janice's care. A child does find it hard to understand, but it doesn't mean they will not someday understand. It's important you do your best for them. Trust that eventually, if you've done the right thing, they will come to you later, but only if you truly are acting in the best interest of that child. Only time will tell if your actions were the best for the child, but after you have a child, your wants and desires must be secondary to their needs. If you can't do that, then you're not yet old enough to even consider having a child. The time to think of that is before you drop your pants. Remember, you are responsible for your actions, and thinking before you act is the only way to be an adult. While the thoughts are inspired by the book, it does not imply the writer intended to inspire the thoughts I have. The attempt is to start a discussion and get people to think about human behavior from the perspective of the closet. How this might lead to problems that make friends or partners or even business relationships difficult. I can understand why some would dismiss this effort. I find reminders in how the characters behave with memories of my own experiences and then explore that aspect. It's meant to start people to think. It is not meant to imply I am right. If you do not share the ideals with others, then how will you know if you're right? When talking, the focus should be on challenging and exposing your ideals, not in changing other opinions. That would only lead to frustration, since the only person you can change is yourself.